Laura, thanks for joining us on Reality Check. Describe some of the intimidation tactics that are used by these overseas police officers.
There's basically three types of operations to persuade a person to return. So the first one is going after family members back home. So either take away their benefits, visit them regularly, visits by the local police to kind of persuade them, to persuade their relatives abroad that it's in their interest to return home, detain them, arrest them, even disappear or prosecute them in the stead of the person that they're after and who's overseas. But if that's not sufficient, they will either send covert agents abroad from Beijing or from other places in China to go after the target directly, to harass them, intimidate them, persuade them to return to China. Now, if even that doesn't work, the Chinese authorities actually wrote this down for us to see. They may use luring or entrapment of individuals. So they might try to get a person to a country from where it's easier to kind of retrieve that person, bring them back to China because, the judicial safeguards are less in that particular place. But they may even use kidnapping. And so the Chinese authorities expressly state that kidnapping is a legitimate means to retrieve a person. For example, we have Swedish citizen Gui Minhai, who was kidnapped in 2016 in Thailand, who's still in China.
Laura, this is just such a brazen, Big Brother-esque attempt to overturn the rule of law inside democracies. What does it say about the Chinese government's respect for rule of law inside democracies and their expansionist ambitions?
It shows clearly they have no respect whatsoever, right? The PRC is very big on, claiming territorial sovereignty, claiming sovereignty when it comes to, criticizing people that call out their human rights record, which obviously, is one of gross human rights violations, even genocide.
One of the difficulties, of course, is that there's a degree of pushback, right, that says if you're confronting these sorts of efforts, that it could bleed into a sort of xenophobia. And on the other hand, to not confront them is to participate or acquiesce in the abuse of people from these immigrant communities. How do you walk that line?
Well, the media attention has been amazing on these reports. It's obviously put the issue on the map, but there's always that kind of, as you say, balance that needs to be sought. But we do think it's important to highlight these issues and not fall into the trap that the Chinese Communist Party kind of wants us to get into, and that is to remain silent. So I think it's our duty to speak up on both, sides of the equation. Obviously, speak out against any anti-Asian and anti-Chinese hatred, but call out the crimes of the Chinese Communist Party wherever they're happening.